This religion class has taught me a lot about the perspective of Jesus and the way people lived in his time. In the book The Misunderstood Jew, a point that stood out to me was that the groups of believers of Jesus were one of heart and soul, and no one claimed private ownership of any possessions, but everything they owned was held in common. I can only imagine how people would have handled the sharing of possessions during Jesus' time. People grouped their possessions together, sharing with one another in order to benefit the greater good instead of only themselves. I find this so interesting because in today's day, everything has an owner. One individual owns the land instead of it being tended to by a community for everyone's benefit. I imagine this focus on common ownership helped people look out for one another. I think it is safe to say Jesus and his followers were more in the present moment than we are today. I think this form of individual possession has led our society to a form of selfishness. People want things for themselves and want to be able to call things their own instead of sharing. A specific example of this in our current society is materialism. Society's materialistic nature has led material goods to be of greater value than spiritual value. As I walk to class, instead of being greeted by my friends with a good morning, I am greeted by their foreheads staring down at their phone. The reality of the world is that we live in a culture in which phones and social media take us to an alternate world that seems to be more important than the world in which we are living. Let the parable of the rich man be a reminder to us all of what is truly important. After the rich man dies, Abraham says to him, "Son, remember that during your lifetime you had everything you wanted, and Lazarus had nothing. So now he is here being comforted, and you are in anguish." This serves as a lesson that the material goods society flocks to will not bring the satisfaction in the next life that they seem to bring in this life. Let us go forth with an awareness of the presence of the materialism prevalent in society today and work to live in the moment as Jesus did.